American men aren't choosing peace because they can't handle strong women. They're choosing peace because emotional safety now matters more than anything success can offer. A man once told me, "She had everything, the job, the degree, the home, the confidence, but I still felt like I was walking on eggshells around her." He said it with sadness, not disrespect. Then he said something deeper. "The woman I chose didn't have half her accomplishments, but she made me feel calm, and calm felt like home." In that moment, I realized he wasn't talking about innocence. He was talking about peace. And I also realized he wasn't alone. Across America, men are quietly choosing peaceful women over successful ones, not because they fear ambition, but because they fear emotional chaos. Modern dating in America is shifting in a subtle but undeniable way. Men are no longer choosing partners based on ambition alone. They're choosing women who bring peace, softness, stability, and emotional safety. Not because they dislike successful women, but because many successful women today unintentionally carry traits that make relationships feel high pressure, high stress, or emotionally unpredictable. And men, after years of emotional burden, financial pressure, personal struggles, and social expectations, are choosing a different kind of fulfillment: calm. To understand why American men are choosing peaceful women over successful ones, you first have to understand what men are currently carrying. Men today are exhausted, mentally, financially, emotionally, spiritually. The modern man faces economic instability, work pressure, high expectations, loneliness, emotional suppression, fear of divorce, fear of failure, and the constant demand to be strong without breaking. Many feel unheard, unappreciated, and undervalued. So when a man meets a woman who brings peace, who listens, who softens his stress, who doesn't compete with him emotionally, who doesn't challenge his masculinity every day, who makes him feel steady, something inside him relaxes. Peace becomes priceless. And compared to peace, success doesn't mean as much. Success by itself is not the problem. Most American men admire hardworking, ambitious, successful women. But in modern dating, success often comes packaged with traits that create relational tension: hyper-independence, emotional hardness, guardedness, competition, masculine energy, and a mindset built on self-protection rather than connection. A successful woman has often spent her 20s learning how to defend herself, how to survive alone, how to achieve, how to climb, how to build a life without needing anyone. This is admirable, but emotionally, it changes how she enters relationships. Many successful women unintentionally bring workplace leadership into romantic partnership, treating emotional conversations like negotiations, treating vulnerability like a threat, or treating interdependence like weakness. They may be brilliant, driven, accomplished, but their energy doesn't feel peaceful. It feels intense. And intensity exhausts men who already feel worn down by life. Meanwhile, peaceful women, who may or may not be successful by societal standards, offer a kind of emotional nourishment men are starved for. Peaceful women aren't passive. They're emotionally gentle. They aren't unambitious. They're balanced. They aren't flawless. They're softer in how they relate. Their presence feels safe. Their communication feels kind. Their energy feels regulated. They express needs without attacking. They listen without turning disagreements into war. They don't treat a man like a rival, a project, or a default enemy. In a world where conflict is everywhere, work, politics, social media, finances, peaceful women feel like a refuge from the noise. Successful women often bring expectations. Peaceful women bring acceptance. And acceptance is something men rarely receive. Another major reason is that American men are emotionally drained. Men aren't asking for perfection. They're asking for peace. They want a partner who doesn't constantly question their worth, criticize their masculinity, compare them to others, or turn small issues into emotional explosions. Modern men carry personal battles, mental health struggles, financial stress, self-doubt, pressure to provide, fear of divorce, and fear of being replaced. When they choose peaceful women, it's because those women give them space to breathe. Successful women often, not always, expect emotional availability from men that men were never taught to express. They expect communication skills many men simply don't have. They expect emotional labor men don't know how to give. And when men fail to meet these expectations, they feel judged, inadequate, or disrespected. Peaceful women don't weaponize a man's emotional limitations. They gently help him open. They make him feel appreciated for who he is, not who he should be. We must also consider the role of divorce trauma. Men are increasingly afraid of marriage because of high divorce rates, legal risks, financial losses, emotional damage, and losing access to their children. Men see marriage as a contract with dangerous consequences. So when they do consider long-term partners, they gravitate toward women who make relationships feel emotionally safe. Many successful women unintentionally create high-conflict dynamics, debates, arguments, raised voices, emotional outbursts, competitive energy, challenges to stability. And men associate conflict with divorce. Men choose peaceful women because peaceful women reduce the risk of the relationship burning out. Another powerful factor is feminine energy, not in a stereotypical sense, but in an emotional sense. Men crave softness because the world gives them hardness. Men crave nurturing because the world gives them pressure. Men crave warmth because the world gives them coldness. Peaceful women bring these traits naturally. Successful women often bring achievement, structure, independence, and ambition, all valuable traits, but sometimes at the cost of feminine warmth and relational softness. Men don't want a competitor at home, they want a partner. Men don't want a rival, they want a complement. Men don't want someone who interrogates their masculinity, they want someone who inspires it. There's also the reality that many men no longer feel respected by successful women. Studies show modern women often respect career success more than character. But men want to be admired for who they are, not what they earn. They want appreciation for their effort, not just their outcome. Peaceful women tend to express admiration more freely. They appreciate the small things. They uplift. They reassure. They encourage. They make men feel like men. Successful women often value themselves for what they've earned, and unintentionally value men through the same lens. Men don't want to date a resume, they want to date a heart. And here is the truth most people won't admit. A peaceful woman is not less valuable than a successful one. In fact, emotional peace is one of the most valuable qualities a partner can offer. Men are not choosing peaceful women instead of successful women. They are choosing peaceful relationships instead of stressful ones. If a successful woman brings peace, she becomes irresistible. If a peaceful woman brings chaos, men won't choose her either. It's not about status, it's about emotional impact. Men choose peaceful women because peace is rare. Peace is healing. Peace is home. Peace allows love to grow without fear. Peace makes a man want to come home, not escape. Peace makes him feel lucky, not trapped. Men aren't choosing innocence, they're choosing emotional presence. They aren't avoiding success, they're avoiding conflict. They aren't rejecting strong women, they're rejecting stressful relationships. They aren't choosing less, they're choosing different. Because at the end of the day, a man will always choose the woman who makes his soul feel rested over the woman who makes his heart feel pressured. This is Mendecoded, where we don't shame women, don't excuse men, and don't sugarcoat truth. We decode it.